After around 5 months, as in 5 months in real life, I have finally returned to this farm. I'm going to use day 113 as a way to get myself reacquainted with everything that is going on here. I also would like to use this as an opportunity to talk about some of the mods that I am using. So between day 112 and now, the 1.6 update was released. I've gone ahead and updated all of the mods and it went very well for the most part. The mod I'm using to change the colors and textures is no longer working unfortunately, but I found another mod that fixes it. The Better Mixed Seeds mod was no longer working too, but I got very lucky and found another Mixed Seeds mod that basically does the same thing. The Shop Overhaul mod had to be replaced with a different one. The prices of some things may be a bit different, but overall it does the exact same thing in terms of adding new items to the shops. I have installed the Chess Anywhere mod. This lets me bring up a menu and access the items in a chest regardless of where I am. Truth be told, I should have been using this mod from the very beginning, but it is what it is. I decided to add a decently sized mod called Better Things. This overhauls quite a few aspects of the game. I will point out any changes that I notice going forward. Unfortunately though, I have saved the absolute worst news for last. The Duran's Rest mod is no longer working. I mean, I have it installed and the items from the mod can still be used. But in terms of us actually getting to Duran's Rest, that's not happening anymore. From what I have read, a mod that Duran's Rest relies on in order to allow the player to teleport to Duran's Rest no longer works. Which means we can't use the warp totem to get to Duran's Rest. That warp totem is the only way of getting there, so we are essentially locked out of the area. The more I thought about this, the worse it got. I spent quite a significant portion of the first year working my way through the mod and eventually managed to unlock the massive greenhouse. I planted around 750 Joja Berry and Ancient Seeds in that greenhouse and placed at least 30 Iridium sprinklers in there too. I've lost all of those seeds and those sprinklers. This is truly the darkest timeline. Also, I can still use the Excalibur sword, but it doesn't shoot fireballs anymore. I have decided that the best course of action I can take is to sell everything I have related to the Duran's Rest mod and then uninstall the mod. If the mod gets fixed before this series ends, as in before I finish playing through it, then I will reinstall the mod. But for now we must bid adieu to one of my favorite mods of all time. To compensate for me losing the massive greenhouse, I have installed a mod called Bonster's Greenhouse. This significantly increases the amount of space in the greenhouse on the farm. Of course, we won't actually be able to access this greenhouse until we complete the community center. And I think that's all I want to say about the mods I'm using, so let's focus on the gameplay now. As you have seen, I have had a very busy day full of socializing. I watched many cutscenes today, which did help me to remember a lot of the villagers from the various mods I have installed. I also took time to harvest tomatoes in the greenhouse in Grandpa's shed. I think before the end of the month, I'm going to get rid of those tomato plants and chop down the trees. I'm not sure what exactly I will replace them with, probably Joja Berry or Starfruit seeds. Tort's birthday is today. I missed it during the first year, so I want to make sure I give him a gift this time. I would also like to give every other villager a gift on their birthday too, as well as accept every quest that is available to me at any given time. Not only will this give us friendship points and money, but completing 3 quests will give us a prize ticket. I want as many of those as I can possibly get my hands on. Willie, or William, has a special order for us. He wants 100 pieces of bug meat. This is a nice and handy order, especially considering that Marilyn sells bug meat, so I might just buy all 100 from him. I don't know, we shall see. I make the executive decision to sell all of my Duran's Rest related crops, seeds, and artisan goods. Now I have almost 100,000 gold. I decide to buy a full stack of mixed seeds. If luck is on our side, and hopefully it will be, we should get around 40 or 50 Joja Berry seeds by planting these. I spend the remainder of my money on the Luck Speed Grow. If you have seen my other playthroughs, then you know that the Luck Speed Grow is one of my favorite items in the entire game. Josephine, the governor's wife, is with Lewis. She makes it clear that she is in town as a guest. She will not be evaluating how good the town is or anything like that. She wants to see the community center. Yeah, there's a slight problem with that. I was not able to finish the final bundle before winter ended, so she's currently looking at a very sad reminder of what was once a beautiful, thriving building. The mail services mod is currently not working. I did manage to fix this though. It turns out I was missing the mail framework mod, so I will be able to send gifts to the villagers again starting from tomorrow. I clear out the remains of the crops on the farm, then I head to Ridgeside village where I watch another couple of cutscenes. Bryle and Faye seem to be having a little kerfuffle. I am not entirely sure what is going on. Apparently Bryle bumped into Faye and she spilled a drink or something and she's half asleep and he's a silly man and apparently this is like a regular thing with them. I don't know. Let's move on to cutscene number 2. Kaihi and Trini are playing tag. They ask Lorenzo to play with them and he does. This is a nice change of pace compared to the previous cutscene. The vibes here are so much better than at the food stall. I give a golden pumpkin to Torts, that's around 3 hearts of friendship with him secured, nice. All that is left for me to do today is to plant the mixed seeds I bought, so that is exactly what I spend the remainder of the day doing. Also, good news, we can now find mystery boxes. Marnie sends us a letter on day 114. She congratulates us for donating 30 artifacts to the museum and gives us 8 blossom coins. This item is part of the Better Things mod. Emily has a shop in the saloon where we can buy things with this currency, so I will have to check it out at some point. It is Morris's birthday today. I don't really care though because A, I'm doing the community center route, and B, it's Morris. He's on the same level as Caroline's husband in terms of me not liking their vibes. I sell some carrots and actually I can't remember if I said the name of Caroline's husband at all during the first year. If I did, then I'm retconning that. It never happened, it's no longer canon, alright, I never said his name. He is, and always will be known as Caroline's husband. I collect all of the items in the coops and barns and donate 20 gold star duck eggs to the community center. Alas, I still need either gold star large milk or goat milk. I thought I was done, but it looks like we have a bit more work to do. I sell everything besides the gold star milks to revitalize my bank account and buy 50 of each spring seed. It's going to be quite a while before we even come close to achieving perfection, but I'm going to make sure I grow plenty of each crop so we'll be good for the cooking recipes in the future. I'm not sure how much the iridium sprinklers costed last year, but because I had to use a different shop overhaul mod, they are now 16,000 gold. I think the tactic of buying iridium sprinklers instead of making them has come to an end. That price is just too steep, unfortunately. Thanks to the Chess Anywhere mod, I'm able to immediately add the seeds I bought to a chest. That is very convenient, I love this mod already. I visit Lewis and watch a cutscene where he tells us that he has had a new machine added to his house. This machine allows us to trade our prize tickets for useful and valuable items. Lewis says he is worried that this is going to result in people only doing good things so they can get a prize ticket for it. I tell him he is absolutely correct and I only care about the tickets. I trade my first ticket for some carrot seeds. My overall goal here is to get as many star drop teas as possible. They will be invaluable when it comes to improving our friendships with over 70 villagers. I donate a blossom coin to the museum, then I head to the quarry. I consume a monster musk and enter the mines here. I picked up a special order from a villager named Lola in Ridgeside village. She wants us to defeat 20 haunted skulls. While I am working on this order, I receive a copy of the Monster Compendium book. Reading this book will give us a chance to get double the loot from any monster we defeat. The good news train continues to roll steadily along the tracks as I grab the golden scythe from the statue at the end of the mines here. I defeat 20 skulls with relative ease. Now all I have to do is remember to talk to Lola so I can turn in the order and receive my 10,000 gold reward. Truth be told, the fact that I have to remember to do that means that I probably will not talk to Lola until fall or winter of this year at the very earliest. I bump into Marlin outside of the Adventurers Guild. He believes it is now time for us to meet Krobus. Finally, I've been waiting so long for this moment. We make our way into the sewers where Marlin introduces me to him. Krobus seems to be a bit nervous, though he did not try to attack us, so I would say this went about as well as it possibly could have. I enter the Adventurers Guild where I meet Alicia. She does not stay for long. Marlin just wanted her help taking care of the slimes in the mines. She's a cool character. It's been over a year since I last played Stardew Valley Expanded, so hopefully she has more backstory or a new quest or just something that will result in us learning more about her. I buy 100 bug meat from Marlin, which I toss into a barrel. William's special order has been completed. I buy the rare disc artifact from Krobus. I mentioned that Emily has a new shop in the saloon thanks to the Better Things mod I am using. This is a very interesting shop to say the least. It looks like she's selling all of the cooking recipes you can get in vanilla Stardew Valley, along with the recipes for some new dishes added by this mod. I have also noticed that the coffee donut gives a plus 10 speed boost. That is actually wild. I'm absolutely going to grab one of those and take it for a test drive. Some new swords are available for purchase. The wooden one is inspired by the wood sword you can get in Minecraft. This is a neat little item. I think the main thing we need to focus on with this mod, and specifically this shop, is figuring out how to get our hands on more blossom coins. Day 115 begins in an absolutely marvelous manner as I grab not just one large milk but two of them. I cannot even begin to describe how excited I am to donate this milk and finally complete the community center. I'm feeling a bit emotional right now if you can't tell from my voice. It's been a long journey trying to donate every item. I honestly can't believe we're basically finished with the community center. That's kind of crazy to me. Speaking of donations, I continue the trend of being Gunther's favorite person thanks to the many items I am providing him with. Then I eat the coffee donut. The speed boost will last around 4.5 minutes, and honestly I think that's a fair trade for 10,000 gold. I make around 100 tree fertilizer, then take my kegs and fill up an entire shed with them. This one was already half full with kegs, so I don't know why I waited this long to put kegs on the remaining empty spaces, but sure, look it. We now have a fully completed keg shed. That is lovely stuff altogether. I toss a joja berry and an ancient fruit into seed makers. I'm still deeply upset that I've lost however many joja berry and ancient fruit seeds I lost thanks to the whole Durin's Rest kerfuffle. It's really a shame that we won't be able to access the village anymore, and especially the greenhouse that has all of our seeds growing in it. Right now I am upset, but I'm sure I'll feel better once I have at least 500 joja berries growing in the greenhouse that we have on our farm. But that being said, it will probably be at least 5 or 6 weeks before that happens. Hardwood, as always, is going to be an invaluable resource going forward. I've already got plenty thanks to the tree stumps and logs on this farm and in the secret woods, but I want more. So I plant a bunch of mahogany tree seeds and sprinkle fertilizer on them. I get to Clint's just in time and sell some gold and iridium bars to him. Clinton, we're going to call him Clinton, alright? Clinton asked us to bring him iridium ore and coal last year so he can make a bomb and use it to destroy a boulder at the summit. I dilly-dallied a lot when it came to giving him those two items, so I decided to take care of it right now. I also pick up 5 battery packs and iridium bars just to have them. As I make my way to the community center, I can feel my heart pounding, my left leg bouncing up and down, and my right arm shaking with excitement. Every single brain cell has been replaced with the happy face emoji. I am legitimately on cloud 9 right now as I donate the gold star milk to the community center and complete the final bundle. It is done. After 115 long days, the challenging community center bundles are finally complete. Now, the real game can truly begin. I pop into Marnie's shop and surprise, she is not there. I know she will never apologize to me for how much she disrespects me, so I've stolen her milk instead, and I do not feel bad about it. Day 116 is truly a glorious day as the greenhouse has finally been repaired. I walk inside and I am absolutely positively over the moon to see it is massive. Granted, it's not as big as the greenhouse we had in Durin's Rest, but nonetheless, it is the perfect replacement in my eyes. One of our main goals for spring and summer will be to make as many iridium sprinklers as we possibly can and get started on creating the joja berry and ancient fruit empire inside here. There are also spaces for quality sprinklers on the left and right sides of the greenhouse, so I'll make sure to plant seeds there too. I want to make the most out of each and every single little inch of this space. The top floor of the greenhouse has hundreds of spaces for tree saplings. Truthfully, I don't think I'll plant any trees here. I might just try to fill that entire room with kegs. I doubt I'll be able to cover every space with them, as that would be like 1,000 kegs, maybe a couple thousand, actually, now that I think about it. But I will make a decent effort at doing so at least. I collect some animal products from my barns and coops, then I spend the rest of the day relaxing in the big forest. I'm still getting my bearings and getting used to all of the mods again, so a nice peaceful gallivanting session in this area was definitely needed. A text box appears on day 117. It lets us know that an explosion was heard at the railroad. Beautiful, this means Clint has destroyed the boulder at the summit. I shall investigate the area soon. For now, it is time for us to enjoy the fruits of our labor as the community center has been restored. Thanks in no part to Lewis, of course. He literally did nothing the entire time I was working hard. Honestly, I think I should be mayor of Pelican Town at this point. That should be my reward. Or Gustavo, he would also be a very good mayor. Oh, no, actually, you know what? Lenny would be a great mayor. I know she's already like the chief commissioner of Ridgeside Village, but still, I want to see the look on Lewis's face when he hears that his sister is taking his job. Wow, I really don't like Lewis. I'm going to move on to something else before I get heated. Today is Alyssa's birthday. I shall of course be presenting her with a marvelous gift later today. And Kent received a present yesterday as it was his birthday. I am taking this whole friendship thing very, very seriously. I do not want to end up having to get every villager from 1 or 2 hearts to 10 hearts in year 3 or 4 or whenever it happens to be. I want to max out as many as I possibly can this year. I retrieve a prize ticket. It's actually really easy to get these now as we can accept 6 quests every single time the bounty board resets. The best ones in my opinion are when the villager wants an item delivered to them. It takes like 5 seconds to send them the item using the mailbox. Even if I just do 3 of them every time, that's still a guaranteed ticket. William is putting the bug meat I bought for him to good use. He's having a little fishing extravaganza at the beach. He gives us the crafting recipe for the quality bobber as a thank you for the meat we gave him. The 5 iridium bars and battery packs I bought from Clint a couple of days ago, I donate those to the boat. Now I only need 200 hardwood and we will be on our way to Ginger Island. I meet Yuma at the bus stop. He is in quite the hurry and tells us he has to be on his way. This is rather suspicious behavior I'm seeing right now. I wonder what he's really up to. I hadn't officially met Alyssa yet, which meant I couldn't use my mailbox to send her a birthday gift. So I went on a bit of a scavenger hunt trying to find her. I took a small break to accept a special order. The hotel here needs some materials so they can have a backup energy source if the power ever goes out. With that order added to our list of things to do, I continue searching for Alyssa. After a couple of minutes, I catch up to her and give her a grape. Was it worth doing all of that just for 3 hearts of friendship? Yes, it was, and I will gladly do that again 100 more times in the future. To begin day 118, a very short cutscene plays where I see a little teleportation circle. I enter the woods and another cutscene plays. This one features William. He tells us that the king salmon can be caught inside the big forest. They sell for a nice chunk of money. I think I remember this fish being a little difficult to catch. It's not very hard necessarily, but it was tricky. Unless I'm thinking of a different fish, but I don't think I am. No, it's definitely the king salmon I'm thinking of. You know, that reminds me, I used to think I was indecisive, but now I'm not sure. Anywho, after stepping into the teleportation circle, I am brought into a little forest area. I make my way through a maze of sorts and find a meteor. Breaking it gives me iridium ore and a prismatic shard. Neat. I reach the end of the area where there are several Junimo huts. I buy 5 rare seeds and 20 magic bait and I find 2 iridium quality ancient fruit. That is very nice. What is not very nice is having to find my way back out of this place. It's almost like going through the maze at the Spirits Eve festival. When I emerge, I visit the Hat Mouse where I buy a hat that looks like a strange bun. I regretted buying it as soon as it was added to my inventory and I felt gross putting it on my head. I don't have a problem with the hat itself, no, it's just a case of this not being the hat that my heart desires. I want the deluxe pirate hat. Unfortunately, that hat can only be found in a treasure chest in the volcano dungeon on Ginger Island. So I must play the waiting game for now. Though I will cry if I do not get that pirate hat before the end of summer at the latest. I chop down all of the tree stumps in the secret woods so I can get my grubby little hands on hardwood. Thankfully, these tree stumps respawn every day, so me destroying all of them will not have any long-lasting negative impact on this place. I make a desert warp totem and use it to teleport to the desert, of course. I do a bit of foraging as the iridium quality coconuts and cactus fruit will make great gifts in the future before exchanging a prismatic shard for the galaxy sword. I'm still going to be using the Excalibur as my main weapon, but it's nice just to have the Galaxy Sword. And if I'm remembering correctly, we have to obtain this sword if we want Merlin to give us a quest and advance one of the main plot lines in the Stardew Valley Expanded mod. The remainder of the day is spent chopping down logs and stumps on the farm. I was able to get the rest of the hardwood I need for the boat, so we shall be setting sail for Ginger Island really soon. I use bombs to destroy a bunch of trees in this little forest area on the farm. Mega bombs might be the way to go when it comes to clearing out the trees and rocks and various other items on the farm in the future. But realistically speaking, we don't have to even think about that right now. I won't be decorating my farm and making it look pretty until the end of this year, maybe even later than that. I make a mountain warp totem and use it to teleport to, you guessed it, the mountain. I make my way up to the railroad where I meet the wizard. Truth be told, I didn't actually mean to start this mission of his. I actually wanted to see if we can access the summit after Clint destroyed the boulder up here. Basically, the wizard wants us to talk to Krobus, gain access to a tunnel in the sewer, find an item called the Dark Talisman, and use it to gain access to the witch's home. I mean, I will do his quest, but for now I want to enjoy the view at the summit. I plant my 5 rare seeds before the day ends. To begin day 119, I grab some oak resin from the chest beside the tree farm and collect all of the mushrooms that have accumulated inside the mushroom cave. I plant just a couple of ancient fruit and jojoba berry seeds in the greenhouse. It really isn't much. There's no but. I'm just making very slow progress in this area. There's no good news this time, unfortunately. Hopefully though, we can pick up the pace in the future, preferably really soon in the future. If we want to be able to afford all of the cool stuff included in the mods we're using, then we need all of the jojoba berries and ancient fruit we can get our hands on. As always, I accept almost every quest available. My goal is to get at least 3 done so I can get a prize ticket. Sometimes I'm even able to get 2 in one day, which is, as you can imagine, always a wonderful occasion. 2 people want aged Blue Moon wine and will give me 30,000 gold for it. We can buy one of this item a day from Sophia for 28,000 gold. We will be making a 2,000 gold profit if we buy one of those and send it to one of the 2 villagers, so that is exactly what I will do. I head into the shop owned by Caroline's husband where I talk to Abigail. She is stuck on a level in the Journey of the Prairie King game. Abigail came to the right person. My skill level when it comes to the Prairie King game can best be described using the lyrics from the theme song used by WWE superstar Sonya Deville. Those lyrics are the following. I am a beast. I am a menace. I am the storm. I'm coming to get it. Conquer the throne and aim for the ceiling. Another victory. We always finish. Certified winner. The day I was born. I don't know about you, but I have goosebumps right now. Absolutely riveting lyrics. Like I said, that describes my Prairie King abilities to a T. As you may have guessed, the enemies in this game did not stand a chance. I sell my mushrooms to Caroline's husband and buy some deluxe speed grow, then I check the rewards available to me in the museum. The flute block is not here. Strange. I thought I donated the bone flute to the museum already, but I guess I didn't. Regardless, I bring up the menu to search my chests and find one. I donate it to the museum and retrieve my beloved flute block. I donate 200 hardwood to William. The boat will be repaired tonight. I pay a visit to Sophia's house where I buy the aged Blue Moon wine I was talking about earlier. I have to say this is the sneakiest way I've ever made 2,000 gold. I actually kinda feel bad for this ludicrous display of price gouging on my part. Next on the agenda is to work on the mission given to us by the wizard. I speak with Krobus and ask him to open the door to the tunnel. This tunnel leads to the sewer within the sewer. Getting through this area is a walk in the park. Even though the Excalibur no longer shoots fireballs, it is still really powerful and makes quick work of the enemies here. I make it to the end of this place and grab the Dark Talisman from a chest. After returning to the farm to send the Blue Moon wine to a villager, obtain my prize ticket and 30,000 gold, I used the Dark Talisman to gain access to the Witch's Cave as the wizard requested of us. Once inside, I catch a void salmon followed by a void mayonnaise. I give this mayonnaise to one of the best characters in Stardew Valley history, nay in gaming history. This distracts him long enough for me to sneak into the witch's house, grab the wizard's ink, and teleport back to the wizard's tower. Hold on. Why does the witch have a way of teleporting directly to the wizard's tower? I know she's the wizard's ex-wife. Speaking of that, actually, I'm going to go on a tangent. I'm convinced that the wizard cheated on her. His exact words were, "I made a mistake that drove her away." If that is the case, and if there is ever solid evidence that the wizard cheated on the witch, presumably with Caroline, then the wizard and Caroline are my two least favorite characters, and I will immediately start calling Caroline's husband by his real name again. Until then, however, he shall remain known as Caroline's husband. Anywhomst, now that we have completed the wizard's mission, we can have new buildings added to the farm. The Better Things mod makes a big appearance here. First of all, we can now add buildings to any farm. That includes the Ginger Island farm when we unlock it in the future, and the farm that we unlocked at the summit in Ridgeside village. I think I might get Junoma huts built on both of those farms in the future. Maybe, I don't know. I might experiment a bit and see what buildings would be of most benefit to us. I can also buy Ridgeside village and East Scarp obelisks and the Wizard's Book. The Wizard Book allows us to access the Wizard shop from the comfort of our farm. Alright, at this point it is with great pleasure that I announce I am very much interested in this playthrough once again. Evelyn pays a visit to the farm on day 120. She gives us a garden pot. This brings back beautiful memories of filling a shed with garden pots and growing a bunch of different crops in them. Thank you for this whimsical gift and a lovely trip down memory lane, Evelyn. Surprisingly enough, it is nobody's birthday today. Days like this are few and far between as a result of how many villagers are in the game thanks to all of the mods I'm using. At the special orders board, Evelyn has a task for us. She wants us to bring her 12 leeks. This should be an easy one as I can just plant spring seeds and get leeks that way. So I accept this special order with zero hesitation. I buy an aged Blue Moon wine from Sophia. I'm going to hold on to this one. I will use it as an emergency gift if I somehow end up not having any other item that a villager loves on their birthday. And now the time has finally arrived for us to leave this town and embark upon a voyage to the mythical island of Ginger. As soon as I step foot on the sandy shores of the beach, I toss most of the items in my inventory into a chest. I will grab them when I unlock the farmhouse, which likely won't happen until tomorrow. I find a golden walnut in the forest and oh no. Oh no. Oh, we've reached the part of the playthrough where I say golden walnut about 1,000 times over the course of 2 weeks. This is going to suck, but it must be done. I open up a package and receive 3 tent kits. These function the same way as the bed in our house. We place them on the ground outside, go inside the tent, and we fall asleep right there. They are very handy. I tried to guess where all of the gems go, but I couldn't do it. For the first time ever, I gave up trying to put them on the right podiums. I'll have to collect at least one gem the proper way and place it on the actual podium it belongs on before I try to guess where the rest go. I grab a walnut in Leo's treehouse and give a walnut to the parrot here. This unlocks the north of the island. I won't show me collecting every walnut one by one as that would take too much time, but rest assured I collected every walnut that I have access to in this area at this moment in time. I talk to the golden parrot. It can provide us with all of the walnuts I'm missing for over 1.1 million gold. If I had enough gold, this would actually be extremely tempting. I'm sort of glad I can't afford it because I genuinely think I would have caved and bought all of those walnuts. I collect a couple more walnuts, plop my tent down on the ground outside the volcano dungeon and head to sleep. I am feeling absolutely sensational when I wake up on day 121. Wasting no time at all, I enter the volcano dungeon and plow my way through the floors here. The Excalibur is still an absolute titan of a weapon and makes very quick work of the monsters here. On floor 2, however, I obtain the Dwarf Hammer. It is very cool and it does a lot of damage, but I still prefer the Excalibur. I really wish I could still shoot fireballs from that sword. I use mega bombs to destroy rocks, obtaining various ores, materials and golden walnuts while making my way to floor 5. I buy the ginger ale cooking recipe, the island warp totem crafting recipe and a few super meals. This dish gives a speed boost when we eat it. That is the only reason why I bought it. I find an ostrich egg in a chest on floor 9 that was a wonderful find. Eventually, I find myself on floor 10 where a cutscene plays. I meet Lance, a character included in the Stardew Valley Expanded mod. If anybody is unfamiliar with him, he is part of the Adventurers Guild, like Merlin. If I remember correctly, he will play a sort of major role in the Stardew Valley Expanded storyline in around 3 weeks or so. I find a prismatic shard in a chest and use it to enchant my Exaliburn. It has received the Haymaker enchantment. I got very excited when I saw that, as I initially assumed it would add bonus damage to the sword. But then I remembered reading about that enchantment before, and I think all it does is it adds hay to a silo if we use the sword to cut grass. Not the best enchantment, honestly. In fact, I feel like I have been bamboozled. I collect 2 walnuts in this area, then 1 more while making my way back to the docks. I use 10 walnuts to unlock the west side of the island. I was hoping to get a walnut, literally just 1 walnut is all I was asking for here, by breaking the muscle nodes, but it just wasn't meant to be. So I collected the walnut inside the shipwreck instead. Again, I won't show me collecting every walnut here on this side of the island, but just like in the north of the island, I collected around half of the walnuts in this area. I can get the rest tomorrow. For now, I talk to a character named Birdie as she has a quest for us. She has given us a memento. We must give this memento to the villager we think will want it the most. Kent is that villager. He will give us an item in return, we give that item to another villager, rinse and repeat until we get the pirate's locket. We then give that locket to Birdie to complete this quest. It might sound like a lot of work, but it's really not. It's a really handy quest that you can get done within a day, maybe 2 days at a push. But yeah, it's not that bad at all. I spend 20 walnuts to have the farmhouse rebuilt before the night is over. Day 122 has arrived, and with it comes the responsibility of chopping down all of the tree stumps and logs, as well as clearing away all of the stone, debris and weeds on the farm. I'm not entirely sure what I'll be planting here. I'm leaning towards planting a bunch of mixed seeds and the seeds of spring crops. I collect a few more walnuts, but what I specifically want to highlight is the Simon Says game. This gave me so much trouble. It is unbelievable how many times I messed this up. I would be embarrassed about it if I wasn't so excited about eventually doing it right and earning 3 walnuts. I also need to keep in mind that coconuts and golden coconuts are temporarily a very valuable resource. I need to crack open a golden coconut to get a guaranteed golden walnut, and then I need to crack open an undetermined amount of golden coconuts to get the fossilized skull artifact. I say an undetermined amount because I could get it after cracking open 1 coconut, or I could crack open 60 coconuts and not get the skull. There's no way of telling which way it will go. I am going to remain optimistic though. I have hope that it won't take any more than 10 golden coconuts. I do a bit of fishing and get a starfish, a seahorse and a walnut. I need to get 4 more walnuts from fishing, but they should come naturally over time. I catch a blue discus and a sea sponge, might as well work on the fishing collection a little and use my 20 walnuts to have the island resort built. Now the villagers can visit the island. I do even more fishing and catch a lionfish and a baby lunaloo. In the southeast of the island I find a little dock along with a note. The note is from Murphy. He will be here with his boat on Saturdays. In case anybody forgets, Murphy is part of the fishing trawler mod. We can go out to the sea on his boat with him and do a minigame to catch a ton of fish. I played a game of darts 3 times to receive 3 golden walnuts, and at the risk of sounding like a broken record, I do just a little bit more fishing. Also, the abandoned Joja Mart was struck by lightning during the night. Interesting. Day 123 is not off to a scintillating start as I do not have enough walnuts to build the island trader. I need but 1 more walnut in order to do so. The bounty board is being kind to me as always in terms of the fantastic quests it is giving me. I visit the bookseller for the first time. I can't afford most of these books, but I do grab the price catalogue. Realistically, I could have just added the mod that lets me see the value of the items in my inventory. Well, actually, hold on, what am I saying? I'm using the Look Up Anything mod. I can literally already see the prices. That was kind of a waste of money now that I think about it, but, you know, I tend to make poor financial decisions. I have Clint crack open 2 coconuts and receive a walnut and a banana tree sapling. Back on the farm, I go on a leek scavenger hunt. I have not forgotten about Evelyn wanting 14 leeks, though I have been dilly-dallying a bit with that order, so I need to get some spring seeds planted sooner rather than later. I buy a bus ticket and head to the desert. I spend some time foraging, then I return to my home away from home, Ginger Island, where I unlock the Island Trader. I exchange my coconuts for 5 golden coconuts, then I spend the rest of the day planting a bunch of different seeds on the farm here. Day 124 is a rainy day here on the island, which is amazing news for us as it means a bird has appeared. This bird drops a ruby. As I found this bird in the north of the island, I placed the ruby on the east podium. You see the problem here? I stumbled over the first hurdle. I failed before I even got started. I put the ruby on the wrong podium, meaning no matter where I place the other gems, I won't complete the puzzle. Thankfully, I eventually realized my mistake, placed the ruby on the north podium, and correctly guessed the positions of the remaining gems. I receive 5 walnuts for my troubles. Our next stop now is the southeast of the island. It is time to do the mermaid's puzzle. Normally you would have to get Robin to 6 hearts of friendship, unlock the crafting recipe for the flute block, make 5 of them, and place 1 under each of the stones here. I really can't be bothered with all of that, so instead I'm just going to use the 1 flute block I got for donating the bone flute artifact to the museum. I place it under the first stone, click on it the required number of times, walk past it slowly so it produces a noise, pick it up, place it under the next stone, rinse and repeat for every stone here. The end result is me completing this puzzle with only 1 flute block and receiving 5 walnuts. I unlock the dig site area where the very first thing I do is use bombs to blow up all of the rocks here. This provides me with plenty of artifacts, which is very nice as I would like to get every artifact as soon as I possibly can. I of course make time to collect the walnuts hidden in this area, do some panning and finish the day with a bit of fishing. I have an unimportant announcement to make on day 125. I paid 5 walnuts to have the mailbox added to the Ginger Island farm. This means I can send gifts to the villagers and complete a quest even when I'm here. It makes things a lot more convenient for us, which I think is worth the 5 walnuts I paid for it. Another panning session takes place at the dig site. This results in me obtaining the fossilized tail. Sweet. I use a bomb to destroy the boulder blocking the cave here, freeing Professor Snail. He owns a little museum on the island here, or a field office as the game calls it. This is where we can donate the artifacts we find on this island. As you can imagine, I have no intention of taking my time with the field office collection. I would very much like to donate everything before the end of spring at the very latest. I use a warp totem to quickly get to town. From there I make my way to Grandpa's shed where I harvest some tomatoes. Also, I have some exciting news. The Egg Festival takes place today. There's not too much I can say about this festival though. I didn't buy anything from the stall here, however what I did buy is first class tickets to the Neon Aries Penitentiary for everyone who took part in the egg hunt. I showed no mercy. This is not just a game to me. This is the one moment each year where I get to show how much of an absolute titan of intensity, courage, passion, and dedication I am. None of the other participants stood a chance. Like I said, I sent them all down to the Neon Aries Penitentiary and threw away the key. I had this competition locked down. Not many things are certain in life, but there is one thing that is certain, and that is me winning the egg hunt this year. I receive a prize ticket for my flawless victory. I better get 3 of those tickets when I win again next year, or Lewis will be going to the Neon Aries Penitentiary too. Also, according to the Look Up Anything mod, I have 2 more of these tickets lying around here somewhere, so I need to find them. We are visited by the wizard on day 126. Apparently a high-ranking member of the council is interested in teaching us some cool magic thingies. He wants us to meet him at his tower as soon as we can so we can learn how to perform warp magic. I for one am very excited about this. Lance also pays us a visit and gives us his schedule. That's about it really. That cutscene basically lets us know that we can start working on our friendship with Lance from this point forward. Haley and Maeve, it is their birthdays today. I shall make sure both of them receive a lovely gift. As always, I accept a minimum of 3 quests at the bounty board. I tried to enter Haley and Emily's house, but I am too early. This actually ended up being a very good thing, as you will see in a minute or so. I trade my tickets for mixed flower seeds, mystery boxes, and a Stardrop tea. I then entered Haley's house and gave her a coconut and the Stardrop tea I received. I had 2 hearts of friendship with her before this. Now, she's maxed out. That's at least 6 whole hearts of friendship. You see, a loved gift gives 3 hearts of friendship on a birthday. The Stardrop tea also gives 3 hearts of friendship on a birthday. You can give an ordinary gift and a Stardrop tea to someone on the same day. So because I did that on her birthday, I received 6 hearts of friendship with her. Getting as many Stardrop teas just became a top priority. I'm going to try to do this for every villager's birthday. That will make reaching max friendship with everybody literally a million times easier. I head to Clinton's shop and ask him to crack open my golden coconuts. The goddess of luck must have been on my side today, as I was blessed with the fossilized skull. I've gotten so used to having to crack open like 20 coconuts that I was legitimately shocked when I saw this happen. When I leave the shop, a cutscene featuring Haley plays. She is in the back garden of the house watering the plants. She wants us to join her inside the house. We follow her inside and she starts venting to us about how basically she feels lonely and misses her parents. It has been over a year since they left, and ever since, all they've done is send money and short letters. Haley appreciates her parents letting her and Emily live in the house for free, but she wishes they would come home every once in a while. I visit the field office where I answer the 2 survey questions correctly in order to get my hands on 2 golden walnuts. Then I donate every artifact I have. This ends up being all of the artifacts that are needed, which means the field office collection has been completed. Professor Snail gives us the crafting recipe for the ostrich incubator as a thank you. We also receive a mango tree sapling, a banana tree sapling, and 11 walnuts. Nice. I head into the saloon and try to give the memento to Gustavo. I do not know why I tried to give it to him. He is not the right person for this item. I find Kenny in the shop and give him the item. In return, he gives me gourmet tomato salt. I steal 3 apricot tree saplings. Sophia was not impressed as she watched me do this. I give the tomato salt to Gustavo and he gives me a rose in return. As always, I wish I could keep this beautiful flower, but alas I cannot, as somebody is waiting to receive it. That somebody is Sandy. Begrudgingly, I give her the flower and she gives me the advanced TV remote. I buy some beet and rhubarb seeds and give the TV remote to Georgie. He bestows the Arctic Shard upon me. Following this, I enter the forest where I meet the wizard. He provides us with some juicy lore relating to the magical aspects of the valley. As the resident magic practitioner of Stardew Valley and Pelican Town, he is responsible for the safety of its citizens. As such, he has to use his magic to create a barrier around the town, protecting it from monsters. Kamala, the witch of the castle village, is in charge of the largest barrier in the entire world. The wizard then skedaddles. Apparently he has a council meeting to attend. I enter the mastery cave, as I like to call it. I select farming mastery, which grants us 3 rewards. Number 1, the iridium scythe. We can use this item to harvest crops. It is my favorite tool in the entire game. Number 2, the crafting recipe for the Statue of Blessings. When we make this statue and place it on the ground, we can touch it to receive a random blessing each day, like infinite energy for example. And number 3, we can find golden animal crackers. Giving this item to any animal doubles its produce. Except the pig, we can't give one of these crackers to them. I enter the wizard's tower and I'm given a potion that he made. I drink it and feel something change within myself. The potion has given us the ability to create warp runes, or as I like to call them, little teleportation stations. The wizard tells us he wants us to meet him in a little forest north of our farm. This area will become our nexus. As excited as I am to get started on creating our nexus, there are a couple of things I must take care of first. I give the Arctic Shard to the wizard and receive a delicious wriggling worm. The traveling merchant is selling a Stardrop tea that is amazing. I cannot afford it, that is not amazing. I use 100 hardwood to repair the giant tree stump before heading north of the farm where I meet the wizard. He takes me into the little forest here, or the Nexus as he referred to it as in his tower, or Enchanted Grove as he is calling it now. For the sake of simplicity, I'll just call it the Nexus. We set up a teleportation station in the Nexus that links us to the Wizard's Tower. This is but the first of many teleportation stations that will be created in our Nexus. Finally, to finish off the day, I harvest all of the crops that have grown. Our farmer is getting straight to work on the Nexus as they create a teleportation station linking it to the farm on day 127. I head up to the Nexus and collect the dewdrop berries that have spawned here. These give us a very nice +2 speed boost when we eat them, so we can pair them with a coffee for a total of +3 speed. It is also salmonberry season, so I'm going to make sure I collect at least 50 of them. It doesn't look like I will need that many, but it's just in case there's any hidden crafting or cooking recipes. As today is the 15th day of spring, it is a very special and important day. It is the beginning of the Desert Festival. I was not able to go to this festival during the first year as it hadn't been added to the game yet. Demetrius has a special order for us. He wants us to catch 20 river fish. We will receive the crafting recipe for the computer if we can get this done, so get it done we shall do. I take a look at the greenhouse in Grandpa's shed. The spring seeds I planted have not fully grown yet, so I must come back in 2 days' time and hopefully get all of the leeks I need for Evelyn's order. With all of my very serious, very official and very formal business taken care of for the day, I can finally attend the Desert Festival. I ask your man in the food stall to make me a dish using fruit and hot sauce. I then speak to Marlon, who presents me with 2 challenges. I can only accept one of them though. I decide that I shall be collecting 15 pieces of iridium ore. The reward for doing so is 40 calico eggs. These eggs can be useful as we can trade them for items being sold by the various vendors here. I won't spend too long speaking about this Skull Cavern adventure. After reaching floor 37 and collecting more than enough iridium ore, I leave the Caverinos. I speak to Gil, who gives me 25 calico eggs as a result of me reaching an egg level of 12. I give the worm to William and receive the Pirate's Locket. This is the item Birdie wants, so all we have to do is give it to her and her mission will be complete. I trade my rubies for a couple of spicy eels and check out the stalls being run by Robin and Maru. I have to say, I'm disappointed by their range of products. Nothing jumps out at me, you know, like there isn't a single item that I want. It's a shame, really, because I've got all of these eggs and nothing to spend them on. Emily has set up a tent where we can try on a new outfit. I head inside and when I emerge, I don't know what I'm wearing, but I like it. I keep it on, partly because it looks cool, but mainly because I recently realized I'm not wearing pants. And I haven't been wearing pants since the start of spring. My bad. I check out another stall, but again I don't want anything that they're offering. I do buy a rare seed from the traveling cart though. And with that, today has concluded. Marnie has sent us a letter on day 128. We can now buy an ostrich in her shop and she has given us 8 heart fruit. I'm not entirely sure what these can be used for, but it's nice just to have them. I plant a couple of rare seeds in the greenhouse. I should clarify, the reason why I'm planting these here is because of the spirit in the greenhouse in Ridgeside Village we met during winter of year 1, I believe it was. They were given a list of things to do and when they failed, they were punished by being trapped inside that greenhouse. I still have to collect 10 sweet gem berries and some more mountain mistbloom for them. I do a bit of frolicking around the big forest and end up in the lower right hand side of the map. I make my way through a grassy tunnel of sorts and find myself in a place called Sprite Spring. I can hear 2 spirits talking to me. They're very curious as to how I can understand them. They correctly assume I am a student of the wizard. I tell them my name and they introduce themselves as Klaus and Angelica. The place I'm in now is their home. I swim across the water and find myself in a lovely grassy area with iridium quality tulips and blue jazz. These will make for excellent gifts. Following this, I enter the forest that contains the Junimo huts. A Junimo called Peaches jumps out and gives us an item we can use to create a teleportation station that links this forest to our nexus. Today is truly a cutscene-filled day as another one is played at the bus stop. Ian is here and has 2 big heavy boxes with him. We ask him if he wants our help and he says no, and then we're like, "Are you sure?" And he's like, "Go on then, yeah, give me a hand please, thanks," and it's all so lovely. Over on Ginger Island, I harvest a bunch of parsnip, kale, potatoes and garlic. This rewards us with 5 golden walnuts. I made sure to leave a couple of garlic here as there is a frog in a nearby cave who wants to see a fully grown melon, wheat and garlic. We will receive 15 walnuts for showing him all 3, so I really do not want to accidentally harvest any of those 3 crops. I plant beet and rhubarb seeds in place of the crops I harvested, and I plant 2 banana tree saplings and a mango tree sapling too. Tea saplings, strawberry seeds and cauliflower seeds are all added to the list of crops that are growing here as well. I talked to Birdie in order to give her the pirate's locket. The reward for doing this is 5 delicious golden walnuts and the crafting recipe for fairy dust. I feel like we've gathered a ton of walnuts thus far, so I check my progress by interacting with the door to the walnut room. It turns out we have collected 98 walnuts. Only 2 more and we can enter this room. Wasting no time whatsoever, I dig up one along with a pearl on the right side of the farm. Then I dig up another along with a quality bobber just north of where Birdie's house is located. With these 2 golden walnuts added to our collection, we can now enter the walnut room. Mr. Key greets us when we walk inside and tells us he's very impressed and we did so well and blah 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 blah. I don't care, just let me see the special orders. Key's kindness is actually one of the better orders we could have been offered. It will be very easy for us to give out love gifts to the villagers as we can just send them the gifts in the mail. And that is it for today. Another harvesting session takes place on the island of Ginger on day 129. Tulip, cauliflower and blue jazz are planted here in place of the harvested crops. I'm definitely planting a lot more seeds than I need to, but you know, better safe than sorry. I have received an interesting letter from somebody named Fizz. They've heard we are working on a very special challenge and they have the perfect solution for us. They want us to meet them in the watery cave here on the island. Nah. Spring forage is ready for collection in Grandpa's shed. I have officially gathered enough leeks for Evelyn, which is just fabulous stuff altogether. I deliver a dozen leeks to the home of Evelyn, Georgie and Alexander. Then I spend the remainder of the day fishing. I must do this in order to complete Dimitri's special order to catch riverfish. Jarek pays us a visit on day 130 and I don't know how to describe this scene. Like, I'm saying this out of character, I don't know what on earth he was trying to do here. It sounds like he was trying to have like a friendly competition and see who can have the nicer farm, but he said it in such a meandering, long-winded way that it almost made no sense. It was like watching one of my videos, really. That'd be the best comparison I can possibly make here. Evelyn sends us a coffee maker as a thank you for the leeks. This machine will produce 1 coffee every morning. A plethora of crops are ready for harvest here on the main farm. Slimeberries, jojo berries, salal berries, strawberries, oh my. What an absolutely sterling way to begin the day. I want to keep the vibes alive and well, so I head to Sprite Spring where Klaus and Angelica help me create a teleportation station. I use my Nexus to get to the Junimo Forest where I buy 5 more rare seeds and 10 hyperspeed grow. And that is it for today. Day 131 begins with a short cutscene featuring us. How wonderful. We have received the crafting recipe for the coffee maker. This crafting recipe has been added by the Better Things mod. Over in Ridgeside Village, I accept an order from somebody, I don't know their name. Regardless, they want us to give them a bunch of bug steak. Again, I can buy bug meat from Marlin, so this is a nice and easy order for us to get. It turns out we need to give them 20 bug steaks, so I will need to buy 200 bug meat. I'm alright with that. It shouldn't be too expensive. I spend the rest of the night in the mountains here in Ridgeside Village collecting mountain mistbloom. Day 132 is off to a very productive start as I send items that have been requested by the villagers. The mail services mod in combination with the help wanted mod makes life so much easier. We can now complete 3 to 6 quests every 2 days. That's a bunch of easy friendship points, money and prize tickets. I trade 7 prize tickets for various items, the most noteworthy of these items being the Friendship 101 book. Reading this book results in us increasing our friendship with the villagers just a little bit quicker. Following the exchanging of my many tickets for some tasty goods, I watch a cutscene involving Georgie, Evelyn and Philip. Long story short, Philip is trying to organize a time for Georgie's therapy. Georgie is way too tired and does not want to do it at all. Philip and Evelyn encourage him to do it anyway, as it will really help him. In the end, Georgie gives in and agrees to do his physical therapy. Like always when it comes to watching a cutscene, when it rains, it pours. That's right, we have another cutscene now. This one features Marlon. He recognizes the sword we have as the Galaxy Sword. He is very impressed that we have been able to get our hands on one. We can now buy the Galaxy Hammer and the Galaxy Dagger from him. I'm still holding on to my Excalibur sword for dear life, so I shall pass on the Galaxy weapons. I do not need them. Our third cutscene of the day plays. We tell Marlon about our Nexus and how we can set up teleportation stations to connect our Nexus to different places. Marlon helps us set up a teleportation station to the left of the Adventurers Guild. Our Nexus is looking absolutely sterling after all of our hard work so far. I believe we only have 2 more locations left to add to it. Those shall be revealed in around 3.5 weeks. I enter the saloon where, surprise surprise, another cutscene plays. I was having a jolly good time at the bar when all of a sudden, Elliot approached me. I immediately skipped the cutscene. Thanks for ruining everything, Elliot. Mayor Lewis pays us a visit on day 133. He lets us know that Community Day will be taking place on the 22nd day of each month. The villagers will gather together and spend this day in the community center. That sounds marvelous. I will do my absolute best to attend this wonderful occasion. My storage system absolutely needs to change. Now that I have the Chest Anywhere mod installed, my current storage system is about as useful as a handbrake on a canoe. It takes a ridiculously long time for me to find the item I'm looking for as I painstakingly look through every chest I have. I head to Robin's and buy a big chest or 2 or 14 from her. I then make another 5, 10, 15, 16 big chests. That gives us a total of 30. I head to my smaller shed and pick up my looms, mayonnaise machines and cheese presses before filling this shed with every big chest I have. The rest of the day is spent giving each chest an appropriate name. For example, the chest that will contain all of our spring crops, spring seeds and spring forage is given the name Spring Crops, Spring Seeds and Spring Forage. This should make it a lot easier to find the items I'm looking for. Day 134 begins with me clearing out the original storage shed. This will be filled with kegs really soon so we can be fully prepared to make Joja Berry wine when our Joja Berry seeds in the greenhouse are ready for harvest. I make my way around the farm, renaming each and every chest I've placed beside the pond, bee houses, preserve jars, etc. I make sure I pick up the now empty chests, place a geode crusher down and put a chest beside it. Finally, I toss a chest into our brand new keg shed. It's time for a bit of socializing now as I watch a cutscene involving Clint, Emily and Shane. Shane is recording an advertisement for Joja Cola. Clinton and Emily are playing the role of a couple. Clinton is very much struggling with this role as he has a very well-known crush on Emily. A crush that is unrequited. Honestly, dude, just move on. Like, she clearly doesn't want to be with you. Stop wasting her time, and your time. Let her do her thing while you do yours. Also, Joja Mart was shut down as a result of us rebuilding the community center. Claire was never told about this and arrived in town expecting to go to work today. That is very unfortunate. Though, that being said, the whole town did make a big deal of the community center being rebuilt, so I don't really know how she's only just finding out about this. I want to talk now about the part of the community mod. I may have talked about it at the start of this playthrough, but it's been a while and I've made a change to the way it works. I'm pretty confident in saying that if you talk to a villager, then any villager who sees the conversation happen gets a bonus 2 friendship points. I have increased that 2 friendship points to 10 friendship points because, as I said, there's around 70 villagers in the game now. I'm hoping this will prevent a scenario in which I spend an entire year talking to the villagers to work on their friendships, while also not being too strong so it can avoid me maxing out friendships too quickly. I might change that value again in the future, though I will be sure to mention it if that happens. I enter Joja Mart where the challenging Community Center Bundles mod has once again made an appearance. I have to donate 10 of the 11 items you can see on the screen right now. It seems like a lot, but we are in a very good position right now in terms of being able to make a lot of these items or obtain these items. This won't be too bad, I think. though I might wait a week or two before I get started on donating these items. Another cutscene plays where Clinton basically tells Jacob to go away. I talk to Jacob and he doesn't seem to be interested in talking to me. His mind is clearly focused on other things. Poor guy, I hope things start going his way soon. The bookseller is in town, so I take a look at what they are selling. Books. They're selling books. The Queen of Sauce cookbook is available for purchase, which I really want, but I am broke, so I walk away feeling very sad. I take a look at the special orders board. The wizard wants me to obtain 10 blossom coins. These are included in the Better Things mod. I have no idea how to get these, but I accept it anyway. I make a few crystallariums, harvest some sweet gem berries in the greenhouse, and plant some jojoba berry seeds. Day 135 begins with a nice harvest. At this point, I decided to install the Walk Through Crops mod. This mod allows us to walk through crops like green beans and jojoba berries. So, you know, the crops that kinda stick out of the ground and you just bump off them when you walk into them. Now we can actually walk through them. I've decided to toss my blossom coins into crystallariums. In 3 days' time, I should receive 8 of them. I sell some crappy whoppies and buy 5 each of the various warp totems from Krobus, along with 5 void eggs. I take a trip to the Mastery Cave where I select Mining Mastery. This gives us the crafting recipe for the Heavy Furnace. This will greatly improve the rate at which we produce various bars. I visit Marnie's shop where she isn't home. So I permanently borrow some eggs that she left lying out in her shop. Day 136 is off to a good start as I toss a dinosaur egg into the incubator in a coop. After using a warp totem to get to Ginger Island, I harvest some crops that have grown before speaking to the frog in the cave. I show him the melon, wheat and garlic I have grown, which results in me getting 15 golden walnuts. With that done, I can safely harvest the rest of my crops and flowers. I plant some mixed seeds, jojoba berry seeds and coffee beans, then I accept a new order from Mr. Key. He wants us to get 100 each of different colored items and toss them into a box in his room. This will be really easy to do once I have finalized my storage situation. I can easily search for each item I need and drop them off. I have some good news and bad news now. The bad news is I can't send the 50 copper bars somebody asked for using the mailbox, which means I will have to find them and give them the bars and battery packs in person. The good news is I sent Robin's axe to her, so I'm sure she will be very happy about that. Our smelting station has received a very much needed upgrade in the form of heavy furnaces. I have also made the statue of the Dwarf King. Once per day I can click on the statue to choose between one of 2 bonuses that will help us in the mines. I head to the mines where I get started on collecting bug meat for a special order I picked up. The new tradition of accepting every quest available at the bounty board continues on day 137. This has made it so much easier to get a bunch of prize tickets. I open up a present and receive the Mapping Cave Systems book. We now get a 50% discount on Marlin's item retrieval services. The thing is, I am an absolute behemoth when it comes to adventuring. There is a negative 42% chance of me getting knocked out, thus I will not lose my items. Ergo, I will never be using the item retrieval service. I consume a monster musk and enter the mines. I decide to shift my focus from bugs to dust sprites. I want to finish the goal of defeating 500 of this monster before doing anything else. The reward for doing this is the burglar ring. This ring gives us the chance to get double the loot from any monster we defeat. I have an announcement to make on day 138. The mod that lets us walk through crops has made the game 39 times more enjoyable. It has completely revolutionized the way I play. And by revolutionized, I mean I no longer have to spend a couple of seconds walking around the crop. Something not that chill has happened with our crystallariums and the blossom coins. They produced 4 blossom coins despite me putting a blossom coin into all 8 crystallariums. And on top of that, the 4 coins I did receive did not count towards the wizard's order to find 10 of them. I might just let the crystallariums work away and gather all of the coins they produce in a few weeks' time and just see what I can buy with them then. I trade my prize tickets for some items in Lewis's house. I am a mere 1 ticket away from receiving a Stardrop tea. That is, tea-rific. I meet Abigail in the saloon where she is once again having some difficulty with the Journey of the Prairie King game. Like last time, I channel my inner Cody Rhodes and overcome all of the odds to emerge from this battle victorious. I am now the official, reigning, defending, undisputed Prairie King champion. I toss a duck mayonnaise into a box here in the saloon to get the Pinky Lemon statue. A strange bun goes into a box in Vincent's room and I receive the Ferrogumon statue. I bump into Penny at the museum who tells me about how Vincent is interested in the origin of dinosaurs. So she has decided to incorporate the dinosaurs into math problems. I've got a math problem she can use. Tyranno Hasselberry summons Superconductor Tyranno in attack mode. It has 3,300 attack points. His opponent has a monster with 1,000 attack points. The two monsters battle. How much damage does his opponent take? That's a Yu-Gi-Oh! GX reference right there. I'm not sure how many people will actually get this one, but if you do, props to you. You have exquisite taste in shows. After making a few donations to the museum, it is looking stacked right now. I collect all of the rewards that are waiting for me. I quickly toss them into a chest I have labeled as the tools/everyday items chest. I shall put them into the correct chest later. Back on the farm, I use the mailbox to complete a few quests. When using the statue of the Dwarf King, I choose the bonus that makes it so bombs don't damage me. I collect a few statues and furniture items from a chest as I have a little experiment to perform. So the Better Things mod has another cool feature. Some of the statues can produce items now, similar to the Statue of Endless Fortune. That statue produces an item that a villager loves to receive each day. It turns out that out of all of the statues and furniture pieces I have, only the Ferrogumon and the Pinky Lemon statue produce items. Over on Ginger Island, I have come up with a game plan for summer. Basically, I'm going to plant as many mixed seeds as I possibly can, and they should produce a good amount of the various summer crops along with some more Joja berries. The island trader is selling blossom coins for 10 heart fruit each. They are also selling heart fruit for 3 slices of pizza each. I don't actually know if it's a slice of pizza. I can't see the text that says what the item is. Basically, I'm still completely lost on how exactly to get a consistent supply of blossom coins and heart fruit, aside from the crystallariums. I enter Robin's shop where I do not steal anything. Robin has done way too much work on my farm for me to even consider stealing from her. It's kind of ironic that I refuse to steal from somebody called Robin. You know, because Robin is her name, but it sounds like robbing, which is another word for stealing. Anyway, I toss a super cucumber into a box behind the community center to get the HMTGF statue. I also trade a ticket for the illustrious Stardrop Tea. Also, these warp totems have made getting around so much easier. I may buy a ton of these from Krobus and stockpile them. I send a golden pumpkin to Lance, then I try to send him a Stardrop Tea, but I cannot. This hurt my feelings, so I went to sleep. A very short cutscene played during the night showing the farm in the big forest. I would like to show what 4 statues produce to begin day 139. The HMTGF statue will give us a farm warp totem in around 7 days. The Ferrogumon statue will give us algae soup in around 4 days. And the Pinky Lemon statue will produce eggplant seeds in 3 days. I assume the items they produce will change each time. However, the most interesting thing here is the Stardew Hero trophy I got for completing the community center. This will produce a star drop in 124 days. I did read about this on the Better Things mod page. The trophy will produce a star drop once per year. That's a really cool feature, though I don't think this playthrough will go any further than year 3. We'll maybe get to winter of year 3, but I don't think we'll enter year 4. But again, that is quite a while away, so who knows. I still cannot send a Stardrop Tea to Lance, which means we will have to wait until tomorrow to get him to 2 Hearts of Friendship. Here is a quick look at the greenhouse. I think I'm going to stop planting ancient seeds and just plant Joja berry seeds exclusively from here on out. I enter the abandoned farm we saw in a cutscene last night. I am utterly perplexed as to what is going on inside here until I meet the wizard in the forest. He wants to know where we got the scroll in our pocket from. I have no knowledge of this scroll. I did not even realize I had it on me until he mentioned it. The wizard himself is unable to read the scroll, and so he must call upon Camilla. Kamala, as we learned previously, protects Castle Village and oversees the largest magical barrier in the world. Kamala believes the spirit who wrote on the scroll is a child, as they seem to barely understand their own language. This spirit is a Junimo, and apparently they want to be our friend. We are about to meet one of my favorite characters ever. The bad news is we have quite a bit of work to do before we can meet them. I buy 17 battery packs from Clinton, then I enter the shop owned by Caroline's husband. Josephine is here. The man who shall not be named seems to recognize her and refers to her as the Zuzu Songbird. Josephine immediately denies this, says he has her confused with somebody else, and runs out of the shop. He then tries to talk to me, but I'm having none of that and skip the rest of the cutscene. I sell all of the Joja Berry starters I have. I was waiting until I made iridium sprinklers to plant them, but I desperately need the money right now and they sell for 1000 gold each. As tempting as it is to buy iridium sprinklers, I really can't justify spending 160,000 gold on 10 of them, so I just grab 475 mixed seeds instead. Then I buy another 500 or so more seeds. I return to Clinton and buy 25 battery packs. Then I buy even more battery packs to bring us up to a total of 60. I buy some bug meat from Marlon and make all of the bug steaks I need for a special order. Following that, I ask Robin to upgrade the second barn on the farm. I believe both barns are now fully upgraded. Out of nowhere, I remember reading a note on Ginger Island that said Murphy would be here with his boat on Saturday. And so I set sail with the big man himself. Despite the 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 month break I took from this playthrough after day 112, I am very proud to let you all know that when it comes to this fishing trawler activity thingy, I am still in the top 2. And I ain't number 2. I do my thing, repairing the nets, keeping the engine stocked with fuel, patching up any leaks downstairs, and preventing the ship from being flooded. The trip was a massive success. When I return to land, I check my box of fish and find copious amounts of octopus, sardines, and eels among others. I'm going to try to do that again at least once every 2 weeks, if I remember to, of course. I toss some items into the box in the walnut room to complete Key's order. I use my gems to buy Caroline's husband's missing stock list. I warp to the desert where I spend all of my money on starfruit seeds. I have to bring 200 starfruit to the abandoned farm in the big forest if I want to meet the new character Kamala told us about. Which means I still have to buy another 40 starfruit seeds. Day 140. The final day of spring has arrived. All things considered, I think this has been an extremely productive season. I send a gift to both Bert and Sunny as their birthdays are today. I wanted to send a star drop tea to Bert to immediately get some extra friendship with him, but I was not able to send it. So I must track him down and give him the tea in person before the day ends. After sending a golden pumpkin to Lance, I track Bert down in the Ridgeside village and give him the star drop tea. I now have 7 hearts of friendship with him. This is ridiculous in the best way possible considering I started the day with 0 hearts of friendship with him. I deposit 20 bug steaks in a box beside the laboratory to complete one special order and accept a special order from Faye. She wants us to bring her 3 different pieces of clothing. We have only today to get this done. We are not getting this done. Moving on swiftly now, I enter the hotel in the village where I watch a cutscene featuring Jezebel. She asks if her and her grandfather could visit her farm sometime. Without any hesitation, I say yes, to which Jezebel promptly calls me a complete pushover with 0 backbone who lets people walk all over him. In all seriousness though, the advice she gave is actually very important. Know your boundaries and limits and practice standing up for yourself so you can do it when it really counts. That is very important, indeed. Like, no jokes, take her advice. Seriously. Naomi comes into the hotel and asks if I think Lenny would approve of a karaoke night here in Ridgeside Village. Naomi answers her own question and decides she is going to organize one anyway. Alright, cool, thank you for asking for my opinion and then not letting me speak. That was very nice of you. We can organize a birthday party for a villager here in the hotel. I assume this will give me some bonus friendship points with them, so I will be using this as often as I can. Or maybe I will just use it once and then never use it again, we'll see. I can only organize one party for Jazz right now, so I do that and will maybe continue to do so. Assuming I get those bonus friendship points for it, of course, otherwise I will just save my money. I warp to the desert where I buy some more starfruit seeds, fill up my greenhouse in Grandpa's shed with these seeds, and deliver the missing stock list to the owner of it. I spend pretty much the rest of my money on battery packs, make 64 iridium sprinklers, and place every single one of them in the greenhouse. With these 64 and the 11 others we have up here, that gives us 75 sprinklers. Which means we have space for a potential 1,800 Joja berry and ancient fruit seeds. And I still have a decent amount of spots to put sprinklers down in still. So that will probably jump up to at least 2,000 seeds. I might take away the ancient seeds here and replace them all with Joja berry seeds. Maybe, I'm not sure, I'll have to wait and see. And that is where we end the day, which means our second spring is officially over. Summer is going to be an amazing season for us, I can just tell.